What's up, guys? It's your Super Plays and it's your host Tony G, and I got the national champ bringing another national champion deck profile with our boy Mecha Frieza. What's up, Bryan?
Yeah. What up, Tony? What's going on?
All right, so this leader just announced, or was just revealed actually, and he got rebooted. We thought Mecha Frieza was never gonna come back. He got errated, and then now he's back from the dead with a crazy effect. Bryan, do you want to tell us what the effect does and why are you playing this guy?
All right, so I come from that format when Mecha Frieza was dominant. So this is, thank God, it's not as crazy as it was before.
No, that thing is crazy.
Yeah, so those of you that don't know what it does, the reboot version, on its front side, you can activate extra cards from your hand once per turn. Okay, so you can only do it once. Okay, that's just permanent.
Yep.
When you activate a mono yellow extra card though from your hand, you can add a card from your life to your hand in order to reduce the energy cost of it by going yellow. It was already shown that the ruling is how it should be, which is the card is free. So if you guys have any confusion about that, you can look it up. It was just posted in the judge discussion group. It's an official ruling. So any one drop yellow cards are free on the upside. So that's huge for the deck. That gets the deck going. It cycles through. On its awakened side, you can use as many extra cards as you want per turn. Additionally, you can take a life to your hand and reduce a cost by 2, which is honestly, that doesn't really matter as much. You only really need the -1 anyway, but sometimes that does play a toll. Also, it has another cool little unique effect to where whenever you activate an extra card, once per turn, you get to rest one of your opponent's battle cards. So that just makes it really difficult for your opponents to get in on this leader because it just has such good defense.
Oh dang, this dude's a monster. Sounds like.
He's not bad. I was really hyped. Typically I don't make a deck profile like this until most of the cards are out. But I was just really excited about this leader, and get brewing with it. So yeah. All
right, let's run through the deck. And Bryan, he's very well known for his one-ofs, and so let's run it through. So we're gonna start off with the first one. It's gonna be Mecha the Unison. Why one only?
This deck isn't very unison reliant. So you'll notice that as I start going through the list. It's just in there as another source of being a blocker. Tapping your opponent's stuff down, drawing cards. It happens to be, I think it's like one of the, if not the best unison in the game. It just has a crazy ability. It's really hard to get rid of. And if you do need to steal something, I guess you can also do that. But yeah, I just play one of them because I think the card is strong.
Nice. And you could also steal a secret rare. I've already seen like people steal. Mecha always steals like those crazy secret rares. And obviously you're gonna be running its mono yellow with some exception of the super combo and some crazy other spice that you run. But we have Master Roshi, Forge of Will. And then this one I thought of interesting is Tyrannical Blow. How come you run one of this guy?
I think Tyrannical Blow is really, really good. It's also dependent on the matchup. But decks that you can surprise them by negating their unison effect. Also, it just negates any battle card 3 or less. And with this leader on the front side, you can just do it for free and help yourself awaken. So,
gotcha.
It's a good card. It's just a good little tech. Again, some matchups it's really strong, which is why I sideboard one as well.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, and then we're gonna go on. It looks like you're running a lot of the new draft box cards and some of the older draft box cards. So we're gonna be running it through real quick. It's gonna be Lord Slug, Evil Invader, Giant Ball, and obviously Basil, the 1-drop Fatal Rampage. Why those 3 right off the bat? Because those are all from the new draft box. Oh, except I think Lord Slug is also from the draft box, correct? I think.
The 4-drop. The 1-drop Lord Slug. It's an easy way to cheat out your bigger slug bombs. It comes in, draws a card, so it replaces itself. Then you just pay 1 yellow, and you get to put in play a Lord Slug or a Slug's army anyway from energy cost of 3 or less from your hand. So that is the main engine of the deck. We run 2 separate engines in this deck. We run the U9 package, and we also run the slug package. I just think the 3-drop slug is very OP. I think it's a super strong card. your opponent not being able to add cards from the deck to their to their hand. It's 20k, it's barrier. You bring it out on turn 2 essentially. It's a strong card,
It's a nasty card.
yeah, and again we're running the 2 packages. So I mean running the Basil in there, as well as the Chapil as well. It just goes along with the extra card, which pretty much makes his deck go round, which is the Universe 9 Assemble. It's pretty much just goes hand in hand. At first I thought that the package was going to be a little clunky, but it works out very well in this deck.
All right, and we'll be going down the list, and so we have the extra cards right here. One of the best extra cards, probably for yellow in general, is Vegeto's Final Flash, Time Magic, Flying Nimbus, and obviously I call it the secret rare of extra cards is Cold Bloodlust.
Yes. I mean, I run some weird ratios in here, as you can see, but I mean, Time Magic isn't really necessary, but I mean, it's just another hard negate that, sometimes it comes in clutch for you. Cold Bloodlust, we all know what that is. Vegeta's Final Flash is actually one of the more OP extra cards in this deck, I feel. Just because it's free essentially with this leader. So, especially if you're going for game, you can accumulate a huge combo power because you can do it as many times as you want per turn. So if you have like 3 Final Flashes in your hand, and you're swinging for game, you can just be like, okay, take a life plus 15, take a life plus 15, take a life plus 15. It pretty much, you're just playing it for free. So I mean, I think it just shuts down a lot of cards. There's a lot of cards like, if you're playing like the Sin Shenron matchup, or you're playing against, anything that you need to get through that has, a barrier or a weird effect. I mean, it's good. Or it can also just save you if your opponent's trying to dump on you for games. You can always just be like, okay, Final Flash, take away your double strike. Like, it is what it is.
It is
Giant
what
Ball,
it is.
It comes in handy. The Giant Ball, it's great in this deck. It's just a nice hand advantage because you get to draw a card, and then on Unawakened side, you also take a life, and it's for free. So you get to rest the battle card, you get to draw a card, and then you get to take a life as well. So Giant Ball works really well in this deck. And the Universe 9 Assemble is probably the most broken extra card in this deck, as people have seen from the recent card spike in price anyway. Yeah,
this card went from being like $2-3 to like $20 now, man.
No, I mean, I definitely don't think it's worth that, but it's definitely one of the main engines for this deck. It just gives you so much advantage. Like if you're going first or second, I mean, it pretty much makes it to where your opponent has to play around the card. And if they play around the card, I've found from testing that if they start playing around it, they're going away from their strategy. It's actually works in your favor as well. Like this card isn't necessary. You can always draw. You draw 2 no matter what. So even if your opponent doesn't want to play anything for like a few turns, like you're still gonna draw 2 cards. You may not get to put and play the free Chapil or the Basil, but that's fine. I mean, as long as you're drawing and you're self-awakening, that's pretty much what the point of the card is.
Dang.
So if they try to play around it, they're just putting themselves back anyway.
Gotcha. Dang, that's insane. So I'm gonna start off. We already know that you got to run the Ape. It's such a good card, and Poutine works phenomenal in this deck. But I'm looking at the last row, including obviously the Angela, the Graceful Warrior. Then we got the Lord Slug, Bergamo, Frieza, the new Frieza, and we'll leave the secret rare for last because that's always like because I remember asking you like, interesting, you're known for playing Xeno Cell all the time, but we'll get to that. But I want to first know, why are you running the stuff I just mentioned? Angela, Lord Slug, Bergamo, and the new Frieza.
I mean, the Bergamo, or not the Bergamo, the Lord Slug and the Angela, they're part of the Slug package. Those are your 2 targets for putting in play.
Hello? Bryan?
This is huge in a lot of matchups. Leave your opponent tapped down. It's huge.
We cut off a little bit. Can you repeat that again? Sorry about that, Bryan.
Yeah, no worries. The Lord Slug, the 3-drop, like I said, just not being able to add cards to the hand is huge. It keeps them. This is this deck is all control. So I mean, them not being able to add cards, the Angela being able to leave them tapped, swinging for crit, and then it's just, and then the Bergamo, I mean, just goes hand in hand with the super combo package that I'm running as well. Running the Zamasu, Sacred Disbelief is probably one of the most broken super combos. I'm running a 2-2 split, specifically because sometimes in the game you need to draw, but also because it's a 1-drop, which goes into what we were just talking about, how you wanted me to go over the secret rare of choice.
Yeah, you're always known for playing Cell Xeno. You're always like, you got to play Cell Xeno in every deck, Tony, if it's green or yellow. And I'm like, all right. But this time I see Sin Shenron, which is crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, Shenron, I mean, it's super strong. I mean, it's if it comes out early enough, which in this deck, it typically comes out turn 3, turn 4. It's you can't really get rid of it. So it just comes out. It gives you this defense that you can't really get around. And I didn't realize, which is the reason why I'm running it, I didn't realize that the card also gets its entrance cost reduced by extra cards as well. So this deck plays a lot of 1-cost extra cards. So it just, and plus with the Lord Slugs and the super combos of 1-drop, and then you got like cards like the Master Roshi, Forged to Will, that I'm running another 1-drop, Basil. You know, it's guaranteed to get lowered down to come out early in the game. And if it comes out early in the game, it's pretty much a wrap. I mean, it's very difficult for your opponent to get around. And then you just pretty much wear them down. The big Frieza we were talking, that you were bringing up, the 5-drop, the Divine Transformation.
This guy right here.
I think that card's pretty snapped, to be honest. I mean, he is balanced. He comes out for 5, which was necessary. But I have a feeling there might be a way to be able to cheat him out soon. We haven't really seen all the reveals yet.
Yep.
So I run it at 2 for now. I mean, it's a 5K combo at worst. I mean, it's a yellow card. It's not like it's gonna clog the deck. It has deflect, double strike, blocker.
It's insane.
And also, and it's just like your secret rare, pretty much. Your card, it can't be removed from your battle area by your opponent's skills. So like, it's pretty much indestructible, unless they just KO it or something like that. But I mean, 25K, it's gonna be hard to get around. And when it comes out, you KO all your opponent's cards in rest mode, all your opponent's battle cards, which is huge. I mean, this deck's going to tap your opponent's battle cards down the entire game, so their stuff's already going to be tapped. So this is pretty much just a way to clear the board, apply pressure, and it also has a pretty interesting effect too for when it attacks. When it attacks, you get to choose if your opponent activates a counterattack skill during the turn. You get to choose two of your opponent's cards in rest mode, and they can't be switched to active mode.
No,
so
yeah,
you're just locking them down, man. And then also on the turn it comes out, at the end of the turn, you switch it to active mode. So you get to swing, apply pressure, and then use a 25K blocker. It's indestructible on your next turn. So like, that's just huge. Like, I just found like when this guy comes out, you know, and you have like, let's say the Machika Bora Unison, or like your secret rare out, like plus the leader's ability is to tap stuff down, like, and play Nimbus. Like, it's really hard to get around once it's out. So
dang, dude, this just seems like a wall of blockers with just being insane to control and manipulate your opponent's battle cards and energy. Man, this is a crazy deck. This is from our very own national champ, Bryan Samuel, going for 2 consecutive years because we didn't have a national this year.
That's all that counts. That's all that matters.
And there you guys have it. Any last minute shout outs you want to do, man?
Nah, man, you know, just shout out to us and super players, everything. Just keep it going, and yeah, try the deck out. Tell me what you think. And again, if you want to go more in depth, you know, make sure you hit up that super players Patreon, and we'll get it good for you.
There we go, guys. From the champ himself and the super players, like we always say, y'all stay super.
Double strike, hey, me and 17, we both look team with the hand destruction scene. Y ahora se lista con el 17 y los otros 7. Yo miro y te pregunto tu mano, nosotros somos buenos para tirarlo.